Hey there, Green Spumoni here. I just looked back on YouTube and I realized I have not updated since the end of my last semester, since the end of fall semester. So this update is a long time in coming. If you're actually in nursing school, you probably have an inkling as to why I haven't updated in so long. First of all, you may have noticed that my usual opening is missing. There's no opening graphic with a cute little stick figure, no music, all of that. There's a good reason for that. Sometime during the semester, my laptop hard drive bit the dust. It just completely died, blue screen and everything. I know what your next question is. You goofball, why didn't you back everything up? Fact of the matter is, sadly, I did. And as luck would have it, or my luck anyway, my backup drive bit the dust too. So I lost a lot of stuff. I lost all my videos, all the records from my YouTube channel. I lost pictures, documents. I lost all sorts of stuff. Luckily, I did not lose my schoolwork, and that is because I have an account through Dropbox.com. So I didn't save the stuff on my computer that was for school. I saved it on Dropbox. And I do recommend doing something like that, whether it's through Dropbox or one of the other cloud type services. Because number one, if your hard drive dies, you don't lose everything. Number two, when I had to print stuff out at school or, for whatever reason, I didn't have to carry a USB drive around with me because everything, as long as I had internet access, everything was accessible. So I'm going to get you all caught up in my news, and I'm also going to share some tips and things throughout. So hopefully you can get something out of this video. First of all, yes, I did. I graduated nursing school. I did all my projects. I got a wonderful evaluation from my clinical instructor. Passed my finals, passed my exit exams, and graduated the first week of May. Got pinned May 2nd, walked in the school graduation May 4th with honors. Go me. Phi Theta Kappa. And at this point, yes, I am planning, because I got the ADN. I am planning at some point to go back for the BSN, but I'm going to get a little bit of work experience under my belt first. And there's a little bit more behind it, and I'll explain that in just a minute. So anyway, not right before, I would say back in January, starting in January, I applied to a couple of new graduate residency programs offered by some of the hospitals locally. These two hospitals in particular were hospitals that I did clinicals with. I interviewed for both positions in March and in August. And then in May, probably about I think it was mid-May, yep, you read right. One of them offered me a position. So I will be starting come August in a new grad residency program as a perioperative nurse. I am so excited about that. And this is going to go back to one of the reasons I'm holding off on the BSN is, in school. Well, first of all, I just kind of feel like I need a little bit of a break from school because it sapped my sanity. And I've put on weight. I lost 14 pounds prior to the fall semester, and I have since put it back on. And that, I think, is all stress weight. Well, not all. A large majority of it is the result of stress, whether it's stress eating or stress whatever, stress hormones, whatever. Result of stress from nursing school. So I wanted to take a break from school because of that. But second of all, because I'm going into perioperative nursing, and I did a couple of observations in the OR during my nursing school clinicals, which is why I went for periop, because I really loved the OR. I liked what I saw. I liked the camaraderie I saw in the OR between the nurses, the techs, and the surgeons. It looked very interesting to me, so that's what I went for. But I also know that what I was predominantly trained for during my clinicals was bedside nursing. And periop nursing is an entirely different animal. So I know that there's a lot that I have to learn. And I would rather than trying to get the BSN right away, I want to be able to concentrate on my new position, because the bottom line is that's going to be my new position. That's my livelihood. So I want to concentrate on that and get that down, and then go back to school and pick up my BSN. So that's the plan with that. So I got that position. A lot of people ask when they have interviews for whatever nursing position they're going for, whether it's a new grad residency interview or an interview for just a straight job. They ask, how do you prepare? What did you do to prepare for it? I'm going to share what I did to prepare. It may or may not be similar to what you have done or need to do. But when I spoke to the recruiter for the position that I got, he was kind enough to tell me that the style of questions I would be getting would be behavioral questions. Now, it's been a very, very long time since I interviewed for a job, so Google is your friend. I went online, I Googled behavioral interview questions. I tried to I tried to Google behavioral interview questions specific to nursing interviews or specific to new grad residency interviews. Those were harder to find, but I looked for all the questions I could find. I read what the questions were. I read suggested answers and bad answers, and then I just made a list of all the questions, and I went over them in my own mind and worked on what my answers might be to those questions. I didn't memorize anything because I didn't want to come off as practiced or rehearsed. So, I just kind of got in my head, okay, if I was asked this question, here's the direction I would go with my answer. But I also did make sure to research the facility a bit more, whatever awards they had won, what things they were known for. Because you're going to get the question, why our hospital? Why do you want to work for us? So I made sure I had a good answer for that. Again, not rehearsed. It was something that the recruiter told me a number of times, was that they're not trying to trick you. Okay? They're not trying to trip you up. They just want to know you. They want to meet you. They want to get to know you. They want to see if your personality is going to mesh with the other personalities in their unit. He didn't say that, but that's what I drew from it. Want to see if you're going to mesh with the other personalities in their unit. They just want to see if you're going to work with them. So that's what I did, and it worked out for me. Okay, so after graduation, I passed NCLEX. It was horrifying, and I think I'm going to do an entirely separate video about my NCLEX experience, because I think, although some people might say that it would scare people, I believe that had I been better informed ahead of time of the depth of some of the feelings that I was going to have, that I would have been a little better prepared, and I might have responded a bit better. I will say this, I walked out of the testing center absolutely certain I had failed. Absolutely certain. And this is coming from somebody who graduated with honors, and I didn't mention this earlier, but made Dean's List my final semester, and yet I was absolutely certain. So I'm going to do an entirely separate video on that, but in the meantime, I know the first question many nursing students ask is, what did you use to study? we got Kaplan through my school, so I did all 7 trainer tests. I did probably 60% of the QBank questions, and the reason it was only 60% is I got very frustrated with the QBank questions because they made me feel very stupid. So I actually took a break from them for a while because I felt like it was hurting me rather than helping me. So I also did questions through Saunders. I used the CD that came with the book. I did on the Facebook group, the NCLEX Facebook group, I did the questions that they posted there. I used the NCLEX Mastery app. I probably did 60 to 70% of those questions. And I also did questions from the famous LaCharity's prioritization, delegation, and assignment. And I think those helped tremendously. So, but the big thing about questions, and this is my big tip for NCLEX, do a lot of questions. Do as many questions as you can get your grubby little hands on. Of course your hands are not grubby because you are a nursing student and you have learned the importance of hand washing. Do as many questions as you can get your hands on. But don't just do the questions. Read the rationales, whether you got the question correct or incorrect. Read the rationale. And don't just read the rationale, understand the rationale. Understand the pathophysiology behind the rationale. Understand how you got from point A to point G with that question and that rationale. It sounds like a lot, but the bottom line is if you're coming straight out of nursing school and you passed nursing school and you graduated, you've got the knowledge. Your nursing program, if it is a reputable program, is not going to graduate you if you don't have the knowledge available. So doing the questions is just practicing. It's practicing and understanding the way NCLEX thinks and the way NCLEX works. And I know you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So anyway, like I said, my next video is going to be all about my NCLEX experience. It's kind of a funny story. I told it to a friend of mine last night, and she was dying laughing, which I don't know what that says about me, but it has a lot to do with me lecturing the shirt that I had decided was my lucky shirt, both before the test and after. More to come on that. So anyway, that's my update for you. I graduated. I got a job. And I passed NCLEX. I will continue to update the channel, even though I'm not going to nursing school right now. I will be going back to nursing school again in the future. So it will still be relevant. It will be relevant on the RN to BSN track. But in the meantime, I'm also going to be learning. I'm going to be starting a new job. I'm going to be learning an entirely new area of nursing. There's going to be a lot of studying involved in that. There's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulations. And I'm going to drop hints and tips where I can. They may or may not work for you. You take what you can use, you discard the rest. You use and you do what is best for you. That is what I have said all through this journey, and that's what I will continue to say. Don't take what anybody else says at face value. Nothing anybody says is written in stone. You've got to do what's best for you. And I'm going to leave you with that. I know I've had a lot of subscribers over the past year, and I have not had the chance to thank you personally. So let me do that at this moment. I'm going to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to subscribe to my channel, for taking the time to watch my videos, taking the time to comment on my videos. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that there is something somewhere on this channel that is going to help you with your individual nursing journey. So I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you soon, probably within the next week, hopefully. In the meantime, if you're off for the semester, take some time, enjoy yourself, enjoy life. And I'll talk to you soon. See ya.